Bingo, bongo, bango. The boys are back. Talking basketball, college. Chris, how are you?
Great.
Love to hear it.
That's right.
That is right. It's a big week.
Quick recap here of our Fave 4 games from last week.
There it is.
Let's see. Run through of mine here. We got UMass Lowell dominating Bryant 89-67. So they're going to be the 2 seed in their conference tournament. So we could get a rematch here in I'm not exactly sure when that game's going to be, but a couple days.
Probably. Oh, a couple days? Oh, they're this weekend?
No, not this weekend, but it'll be their conference tournament starting, so it'll be like in the next week.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Okay.
Eastern Washington beat Montana, so they're the 1 seed in their tournament, but like by 3 games. So lock that in. Loyola Chicago beat Dayton. It was
a big win.
It was like their first win over a top 25 team since 2021. So
Sister Jean.
it's a big game for them. And we'll see how they do come the A10 tournament. Last one, Gonzaga beat St. Mary's 70-57. Dave will talk about the game earlier in the week for them, but as a spoiler, San Francisco also lost on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
They lost on Saturday, so it didn't really matter. But Gonzaga, number 2 seed in the West Coast Conference tournament.
Yeah, so the spoiler was Gonzaga smoked San Francisco, which by 18 points. But what's crazy about that is like that just changed the whole season for Gonzaga, I think. Like they're now playing
Beating
well
San
going
Francisco
into the tournament.
And St. Mary's.
Yeah, because now they know they can win that. Like it kind of reminds you of the old. Obviously, it still probably will be St. Mary's Gonzaga in the championship, but it definitely helped their cause to get in, even if they don't win their conference.
Is Gonzaga?
They're now projected to be in, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure too.
Right here, 7. They're new.
Oh.
The next game.
Up to the 7 line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2 wins, yeah. Tennessee beat Alabama by 7. Close game, but yeah, good win by Tennessee. The second one was Baylor beating Kansas, or the third one, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
At home, Kansas kind of, I don't know. Kansas is struggling, to say the least.
But Kevin McCullough is back.
He is back. He is back, and we talked about that.
Yeah,
He needs to come back.
You were asking if he was going to be back at all the rest of the year, and he heard you.
Yeah,
so
he heard.
He was back next game.
He heard. He came back, and then Creighton beats Marquette, which now Marquette will have a tough time, obviously without their point guard for the next few weeks, but see what happens.
Yeah, something to keep in mind. I'm sure that once the bracket comes out, I mean, he's missing the final games of the regular season.
Yeah, they're hoping he comes back for conference.
Right. So that'll be all in the news, especially if he doesn't come back for the tournament or for their conference tournament, and then leading into the NCAA tournament is like, is he going to play? Is he not going to play?
Yeah.
That's going to be like one of the biggest storylines because he's one of the best the best player on one of the best teams.
Oh, 100%. He's one of the best point guards in the whole nation.
Right.
So, yeah. See what happens.
Yeah. Well, we've made it, folks. Postseason play.
It's here.
The first conference tournaments are starting the day that we're recording.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do a little run through. There are 6 tournaments that will start and finish by the end of this week.
By Monday.
Yes.
Yep.
So, by the end of the day, Sunday? Right?
Monday. Well, these say the 11th, which is Monday. Like the Southern Conference is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, their championships are?
Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna run through these little. They're all smaller conferences. I think the biggest one is probably the Missouri Valley.
Yeah.
But we're gonna run through these. We're gonna talk about the conference tournaments, and we're gonna talk primarily about the better teams in the conference tournament.
I would say probably the teams that we think have a chance to actually, well, to win their conference tournament, and then potentially give somebody a little trouble in the actual NCAA tournament.
We're gonna give you the answer on if they can beat a on if they can beat a team that is more well known.
Yeah, because most of these are only going to have one team that get out. You have to win to get in. So, yeah,
I believe the only one that will have more is the Missouri Valley.
Right, which you hinted on before. Yeah, biggest one. So,
all right, so we're starting with the Ohio Valley Conference. It's a similar structure to the West Coast Conference in that it's essentially a series of pigtail games. So you start with the bottom 4 teams in the league. The winners of that advance to 2 teams that get a bye. The winners of those games get a move on to play the number 1 and number 2 seeds, who got a bye to the semifinals.
Yeah. So being the number 1 and 2, you have to win 2 games to win the conference.
Exactly. You get a bye to the semifinals, which is a huge advantage.
Well, and I think it's back-to-back days, right? So if you're a lower seed and you somehow upset like the
it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
you're
Saturday.
playing 3 straight games.
Oh, so I guess this one starts tomorrow.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Is the championship.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
So it's a huge benefit to. I think that is. It's interesting that they do it that way. I mean, there's 8 teams, right? So like, they could structure it as 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5, like a typical 8-team bracket. Yeah. Do you have any guesses on why they don't do that?
Any guesses?
Yeah. And they do this instead?
I have no idea, but it obviously benefits the higher seeds. Is there an actual rationale behind it?
If I had to guess, I would say that they structure it like this because they know that they're likely only going to get 1 team in the tournament.
So they want
they want the best teams to have the best chance at getting to the national tournament.
I can see that.
Because, I mean, really the only 2 conferences that do it like this that I know of, at least. I mean, maybe we'll find out more, but the 2 main conferences that I always come to mind is the West Coast Conference and this one, I guess. Yeah. So,
which is interesting now. I mean, we'll get into details, not too much, but the West Coast Conference. It's interesting that they don't because they'll have 2 teams in
there. Yeah, but it's
always been like
didn't
this.
Start like that.
No, not at all. It was always Gonzaga rolled through.
Yeah,
and St. Mary's was close, but
right, but like it's a smaller conference compared to all the rest of them.
Yeah, it only has 18
reason,
too, right?
The only reason that it's gotten bigger is because Gonzaga's consistently been really strong.
Yeah.
And St. Mary's has also been strong, but.
Gross, man.
Alrighty, so let's see. Little Rock, UT Martin. What do you think? Little Rock's the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And UT Martin is
number 2. So I actually think this is crazy. I mean, I think the other team that potentially could make a run is Morehead State at the 3.
Okay.
Granted, they have the same exact. All 3 of those have the same record in the conference, 14-4.
Oh, so they kind of got the short end of the stick. They got to play another game.
Short end of the stick, which could. We've talked about this before. Momentum could be a thing.
Could be.
But I also don't know. I mean, Little Rock is hot right now, and so is UT Martin. But my team would be Morehead State to take it.
Go to the tournament. The whole thing?
Yeah, go to the tournament.
Wow.
Golden Eagles.
Okay.
Actually, it's just the Eagles.
But do you know if this is a one? Oh yeah, so it's in Evansville, so it's not a high seed type of scenario.
Right. No, it's at 1 spot.
I guess they probably wouldn't be able to play it 4 days straight if it was a.
Well, you'd have to travel, and that would even mess people more up. So. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I got Morehead State.
Interesting.
Let's
They do have the
easier side.
Well, no, they have the best overall record. Mm-hmm. They have the best home record. I mean, they've only won 3 in a row here. Little Rock is hot.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why they took first place. They beat Morehead State by 1. And they only played them 1 time. Seems odd, doesn't it? UT Martin they lost to, and they beat by 20.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
I don't know. I think you always gotta. To me, I think you want to hope for the best seed, the best team in the conference.
Yeah.
To win, to
give
they
all have
the
the
best
same
chance.
record. They all could technically be the number one, right?
I mean,
the only reason they're probably not is
Guess
because
not.
Morehead State probably lost, like you said, to Little Rock or
Mhm.
UT Martin, one of the two. So they probably lost to those two more. That's why they didn't get seeded that way.
that's right.
So we'll see.
All right, I'm going Little Rock.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Next one, Big South.
Big South, the High Point Panthers.
That's right.
UNC Asheville. Fun fact for you, UNC Asheville, I think, has the tallest basketball player to ever play in college.
Fun
Remember that guy?
Fun fact for you: that's a picture of their arena.
It's a nice play. That's their arena? Is that their? That's their That's their arena?
Oh no, maybe it's not.
I think that's like their.
Maybe that's
academics.
High Point.
I don't know. Yeah, UNC Asheville had that tall
I've been to
guy.
UNC Asheville.
So is that what it looks like?
I thought it did, but maybe it doesn't.
Oh.
It looks like it's at High Point.
Oh.
So it's at the number 1 seed.
Oh.
That could be
A little advantage.
benefit.
Yeah. The number 2 and the number 3, the UNC Asheville and the Gardner Webb running. The Gardner Webb are both the Bulldogs.
Gardner Webb went to the tournament last year.
Yeah. Winthrop used to be a decent team too, but I'm taking UNC Asheville Bulldogs to beat the High Point Panthers.
You are?
I am.
Why?
I don't know. I actually think they're probably very similar. I'm pretty sure they played each other twice.
UNC Asheville beat High Point 86-81.
And then they lost to High Point.
84-79.
So both
earlier
by
in the
5
year.
points.
Mhm.
So, I don't know. I think they're rolling. They also lost to Gardner Webb by 1 before they beat Radford. So, we'll see what happens. I think they could take it. They got a guy, Drew Pember. He's still there. 20 points a game. He was there last year.
He's at UNC Asheville?
Yeah, he's still
Oh,
there.
UNC Asheville went to the tournament.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think...
I'm surprised that he didn't transfer anywhere.
Nah, loyalty, man.
Oh.
But I'll take the Asheville.
I
UNC
think
Asheville.
High Point's going to win. I think it's a huge advantage when you're at
Your home court.
your home place.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 14-1 at home this whole year.
Yeah.
So 15-1. They're 15-1 at home. So that's a huge advantage. Even though they just lost a game, their last game, I think that they'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go High Point.
High Point. And now we're on to Missouri Valley.
Do you think that either of these teams could win a game in the national tournament?
I don't.
They're looking at.
I don't.
Let's see here. Well, Little Rock's projected as 16 from the last conference, but
High Point? Wasn't High Point there?
High Point is going to be.
They're down. Go down to the west side. Right there. They play Creighton.
Oh
So
yeah,
no, they're
they'd
not
be a
gonna-
14 seed.
Yeah, they ain't going to be Creighton if they have to play.
They're projected a 14 seed. Obviously, if Asheville wins or whoever the next team is. Who was the other one?
The other
Gardner
Bulldogs.
Webb.
Gardner Webb, yeah. I don't know. I don't think either of them.
If either of those win, then they'd be a 15 or 16. But
I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I don't think any 16s this year will win.
I don't think so either.
So,
All right, I'm going High Point.
Okay.
2 number 1 seeds so far.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to the A-Sun.
oh, ASUN. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Because that one is happening today. That's the first conference tournament that started. So there's already been games played. Jacksonville beat Kennesaw State. I believe Kennesaw State won last year, the conference tournament. So they're already out. And then you also have Queens. They beat Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh,
69-63.
was Florida Gulf Coast was the High Flyers, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
A handful of years ago, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But so Eastern Kentucky's the number 1 seed in this conference, and then you got North Florida as the 5, I believe. Stetson is the 3, and Lipscomb's the 2.
Yeah.
So Eastern Kentucky's the favorite, but I've heard a lot of chatter about this conference. mainly because it's the first one that's starting. But the interesting thing to keep an eye on is people are high on Queens.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, this team could make a run here in the conference tournament. You want to know why?
They have one solid. Do they just shoot the three?
They shoot the three. They shoot the most in the country.
Okay.
So if they get hot, I mean, they beat High Point. We just talked about them. They're number one seed in their conference tournament.
They average 80 points a game.
Exactly.
But they also average allowing 81.6.
Look at this. They've lost a lot of games.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens when you live and die by the three.
They're 14 and 18. If they made the tournament, that would be insane.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know about that.
But the thing that people are liking is they lost to Stetson by 18 early in the year. However, as the year went on, they lost to Lipscomb by 2.
Good team.
They're the two. They're the two,
yeah.
Right? They lost to Austin P, who's the 4, by 3. They beat Stetson 83-75. That's who they're playing in the next round here. And then that's it. So they beat Stetson and they lost to Lipscomb by 2 points already this year. So
close.
If they can
upset Stetson, they could beat anybody. I think Stetson's the top 3 of that conference. Stetson, Lipscomb, and Eastern Kentucky are very good. Lipscomb averages 86 points a game.
They're all similar records as well.
Right. But I'm not gonna go with the whole Queens guys. I'm just gonna take the Eastern Kentucky boys.
Really?
Yeah, number 1.
I think I'm gonna go Lipscomb.
There it is. Lipscomb. Yeah, all these guys' records are pretty close.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think any of these teams. I know Narum just gave you a great breakdown. I don't think any of these teams beat who they have to play in the tournament.
No.
Still not. We still haven't found one.
But here's the deal. You look at Lipscomb. They just beat Eastern Kentucky by 14.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Literally their last game of the regular season.
Yeah, they also beat. They also Belmont by 1. They beat Florida State. They also Arkansas by 3.
They got smashed by Stetson. That's not good. So maybe this is just picturing the bracket. Queens beats Stetson, and then Lipscomb beats Queens. That'd be great. That's what we want.
So the hard part, or the last thing on this, is
the
last loss.
Bisons.
The Lipscomb Bisons. Their last loss was to North Alabama.
Oh, that's who they play.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So we'll see.
They got to get out of the first round if they want to be getting to the conference championship.
Yeah, you do have to win the first one.
Who do they play?
North Alabama.
North Alabama. Where are they?
They're in the middle.
Oh, right in the middle. Okay, gotcha. For some reason, I thought you said Central Arkansas. I don't know where I got that from, but I was like, they are bad.
Oh, they're what some would say booty.
Okay. All right. Well, that conference tournament's happening right now. So
catch it live. Actually, you're already 2 days behind.
Yeah, it started Monday, so Tuesday, who knows? maybe Stetson's already done.
This could be coming at you.
Yeah, that's right.
So we'll see.
All right, now we're moving on to the what conference is this? Sun Belt.
The Sun Belt. Pensacola, Florida. Pensacola.
You know
who lives in Pensacola? Isn't there a song about Pensacola?
Is one of these teams from Pensacola?
I don't know. My computer's being whacked, but is that what it says?
I don't know. It just says Pensacola, Florida. All right.
What is this, the Sun Belt?
Yes, we have the Sun Belt.
Well, Appalachian State definitely ain't from Pensacola.
No, they're not.
Either is James Madison.
No.
So who the heck?
I didn't know if...
Troy? No. Pensacola. Louisiana? No. Southern Miss? No. I don't know, man.
Seems like a weird place to have the conference tournament if none of them are from there.
Probably got their best bang for their buck. Hotels were cheap. Flights were cheap.
I mean, who doesn't want to go to Florida this time of year?
Yeah, well, yeah. Some would say this is the time to go. But
That's true. All right, so we got number 1 seeds, App State. Starts today. So you got the Pigtails, 12-13, 11-14. Then it goes into Thursday. Then you got the next games, 8-9. 5 is waiting the winner, 6 is waiting the winner, 7-10. So if you're the number 1 seed, or the top 4 seeds, you got to bye till Saturday.
Again.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Rest up.
So you would only have to play 3 games in this tournament if you're a top 4 seed. And I think that it's better that the top 4 seeds get equivalent buys rather than
just the 1 or the 2.
Yeah, the 1 and the 2 getting a bye to the semifinals. That seems like it is a little bit outrageous.
Right.
Unnecessary.
Yeah, I will say this. The one team that I look at here, I'm going with the Dukes. Yeah. I think James Madison can get hot early on in the year. They beat Michigan State at Michigan State.
Yeah, they started out the year really hot.
Yeah, their 3 losses really are all within, well, they lost to Southern Miss by 10, but the other 2 losses are within 5 points.
How many games did they
They've
win?
lost to Appalachian State both times.
Oh, boy.
That's a little scary.
That is scary. How many games did they win at the beginning, though? They were one of the last teams to be undefeated.
1, 2, 3, 4. They started out 14-0.
Okay.
But they've also ended the year on a 3,
10 game
6, 9. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, but it is maybe a little bit nerve-wracking that they only lost 3 games all year.
And twice to Appalachian State.
All 3 were in the conference, and 2 of them were to the team that's at the top of the conference. That doesn't give you a lot of confidence.
No.
Or give me a lot of confidence in them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll wait and see. Both teams are obviously very good. 28-3. They were ranked at one point.
I think so, yeah. I mean,
you go 14-0, you got to be ranked. And you beat Michigan State?
Yeah, it's when everybody thought that
Michigan State was 4.
Yeah, when everybody thought that they were going to be really good.
Yeah, no offense to our good friend, Andrew Novak. Michigan State just wasn't it this year.
It's not it.
Sorry to hear it.
You can't have a good year every year.
Yeah, I am taking the Dukes, though.
All right.
I'm taking the Dukes. And I will say this. This is the first team, granted Appalachian State's up there too, this is the first team that I think could potentially give a little troubles to whoever they play.
Where are we projected here?
I thought they were projected, weren't they 13 or 14?
App State 13.
Yeah. Kentucky too. And we've talked about Kentucky.
We have.
So, Possibility.
Do you think, so that's where App State is projected because they're the number 1 seed. But
yeah.
Do you think if James Madison gets in, do you think they would be able to upset somebody?
I do.
Okay.
I think they were. Do
you think they have a better or worse chance?
Tough question. Of upsetting somebody?
I actually think they might have a better chance.
No, I think they have a better chance. They've already gone into Michigan State and beat them. Like I said, I hate dwelling on that game, but they also beat.
It's something.
They're kind of roll. If they win the tournament, that means they're on a 13-game win streak.
It gives them confidence against bigger conference teams.
Right. Bigger conference teams. You were ranked at one point. You were hot. You are back to being hot. It's great. Mm-hmm. So I think James Madison could. I mean, they average 85 points a game. They score.
That's right, and that is a recipe.
If you score more points than the other team, that's a recipe for success.
You got a pretty good chance at winning.
Yeah, some would say. So that's the recipe.
Okay. I'll follow your lead on that. I'll go James Madison with you.
It'd be kind of cool.
Why not?
TJ Bickerstaff. Is that the son of the other guy? The TJ Bickerstaff. Isn't that a coach?
Yeah, what's his name?
What
are his letters?
JB Bickerstaff?
Yeah, baby. JB. Let's go.
I hope all their kids are just 2 letters.
I mean,
I don't know if they're related.
You need more?
Yeah, I don't know if they're related, but all right. So yeah, we're going with the
Dukes.
Bang.
All right, second to last one, we got the SoCon Conference.
The what?
The SoCon.
SoCon.
The Southern Conference.
Just Southern Conference. Oh, the UNC Greensboro.
Number 1 seed is the Samford Bulldogs.
So this is where Furman was. The Palisades. Then they upset.
It's not the Palisades.
Paladins. Paladins?
Paladins, yeah, baby.
Paladins? What is a paladin?
It's a bird, I believe.
Bird? Sounds like a character from Star Wars.
You want me to fact check it?
You don't have to fact checking yourself, but yeah.
Paladins. It's an online game.
I don't think that's it. It's a, what is that, a League of Legend character?
Paladins. What are we doing here? Animal? Paladins animal.
It says Furman's mascot comes out onto the court or field wearing a suit of armor to represent the paladin.
Alright, so it's a knight, essentially.
A knight on a horse.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
What did you say? A bird?
I thought it was a bird, yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's a big L, but yeah, it's alright. Alright, so the SoCon conference.
Yeah. I think it's Samford's to lose. I mean, obviously they're best team. I don't think there's any more magic in Furman. I don't think there's any magic in anyone. Team. So I'm going with the Samford Bulldogs. 18-0 at home.
So this is funny. This is in Asheville.
Okay.
So maybe that's why what conference was that?
What was that, 2 conferences ago?
The Big South?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why the Big South can't be there because SoCon's already here. That seems weird. Why are they going to Asheville when they don't even have an Asheville team in the conference?
I don't ask those questions anymore.
It's also similar to the Big Ten that the women's tournaments same place.
Really?
Literally the exact same place.
Same dates too?
Yeah. So you got the women's tournament starting on the 7th, Thursday. You got the guys tournament starting on the 8th, Friday.
Weird.
So
does the court has to have 2 3-point lines then?
It will, yes.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
It looks like, it seems odd. It doesn't really make any sense for me to have I understand having it at the same place because it kind of just like consolidates everything. But at the same time, like, then you have all the women's games early in the day. Like, these game times are outrageous. The first day, because the guys tournament hasn't started, you got the women's games at 11, 1, 3, and 5.
Mm-hmm. That's normal.
Right? And then for the guys, the next day, so that's the day before the guys tournament starts. Then the second day, you got the semifinals for the women, and you got the pigtail games for the guys. So you got the semifinals at 11 and 1:30, 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. for the women, and then you got 5 and 7:30.
Well,
for the guys. Then the next day, it's only guys, quarterfinals, 12, 2:30, 6, and 8:30.
Okay.
And then the next day, you got the finals for the women and the semifinals for the guys. The final for the women is at noon.
Okay.
And then the semifinals 4 and 6:30.
So do you think it's because...
And then a 7 p.m. final on Monday.
So they have to... Do you think it's because they have to, like, for the women's, you can buy a ticket for the women's only?
Well, yeah,
get everyone out.
They'll clear everybody out regardless. But those game times are crappy.
Yeah, sorry.
Semifinals are at 11 and 1:30, and then the finals at noon.
Yeah, we'll see.
Seems weird, but...
Go Samford.
All right, yeah, Samford.
Bulldogs.
They're also undefeated at home.
They also will not do anything in the tournament.
What are they projected? 16?
Probably, I don't even know. But they lost to Purdue the first game of the year by 44 points.
44, huh?
Yeah, with 2 4s in a row.
They're not. They are not projected as 16.
What are they projected? Are they projected on there?
Yeah.
Right there, Illinois.
13.
Wow.
You don't think they'll give Illinois a little run for their money?
I guess I don't know. I thought there'd be a 16. They gave a better chance,
they've only lost 5 games all year.
Yeah.
The hard part is they've won 18 out of their 26 games at home.
Right, and you ain't playing at home.
They're not playing at home, no.
So, We'll see. I just still don't think they'll win.
I think Illinois is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah, it's always a tough match. They're just bigger.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Last one. We got the Missouri Valley.
The big one.
Big one for the week. You got Indiana State, the 1 seed, UNI 4 seed, Drake the 2 seed, and Bradley the 3 seed. Those are the teams that get the bye into the quarterfinals. I don't think we need to go through all the other games.
No, I don't think so at all.
Who do you like to get to the semis?
Why, like Drake? Well, I mean, I'll just go. To be honest, I think the only team that potentially could get to the semis that wasn't in that first round was Belmont. I think Belmont could upset whoever they play to get to the semifinals.
Okay.
But besides that, I think it's going to be Drake, Indiana State, Belmont, and then...
So Belmont would play UNI.
And I think Belmont could beat UNI.
Okay.
But that would be the only game. I think those other 4 are in.
Okay.
Do they have already a team in? Is Indiana State going to make the tournament without winning this? Or is Drake? That Tucker DeFreeze kid is still there.
Yeah.
I thought he was friends with Brennan.
Indiana State is an 11 seed.
Whoa!
As the automatic qualifier.
Yeah.
So, no.
They have to do the play-in?
So Drake is on the next 4 out. So they're in the first 8 teams that are currently not in the tournament.
So if Drake, do you think wins the conference, do you think they put Indiana State in and Drake? Because Drake would be the automatic qualifier, right?
They would. I think Indiana State would have to get to the championship.
Like if they were in the championship and Drake won, you think both would go?
I think there's a possibility, yes.
Okay. All right.
I think that could happen. That's their best chance.
But if Indiana State wins, Drake's still out. Even if they make it to the
Most
championship.
likely, yeah.
Okay. All right. There it is.
Who are you picking?
I'm sticking with the Indiana State Sycamores.
Okay.
And I'm going to ride with them. Did you know Drake's 16-0 at home?
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep. I think
Dogs.
I'll go with Drake.
It has to be those 2 in the finals.
You'd think.
Right?
Bradley's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I think that Drake, just because I believe they have the best player in the conference.
Tucker DeFreeze, the 18th year starter.
Yeah.
Have you seen about this Robbie Avila guy?
His dad's the coach.
Have you seen this Robbie Avila guy?
Yes.
They're calling him, what is his name for him?
Cream.
Cream.
It's a great
legend.
nickname.
Yeah, but...
It's a great nickname.
Oh, his dad's the coach?
DeVries is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Drake.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's new information to me.
Yes.
Okay.
So, there you go. Fun fact for you. All right, I'm going Drake. You're
Yeah.
going Indiana State.
I'm going, oh, that guy.
Okay, cool.
Nice. There you go.
Let's move on to Phase 4 games of this week.
Yeah. Let's
games
do
to
it.
watch as you're prepping, doing your research.
Doing your research, big week.
I think I should start this.
Yeah,
week.
go for it. I mean, there's the most obvious game.
All right, I'm gonna go Duke, North Carolina, Saturday.
I was gonna say that has to be the most obvious game out there. My first game to watch is going to be Kansas at Houston.
Really?
Houston's number 1 seed. This is a big test. Houston got smoked when they went to Kansas earlier in the year, but it's at Houston. Kansas is struggling.
I don't feel like I need to watch those teams.
Why?
I know what.
What are you getting with Kansas? They could be. I don't know about Kansas.
No, I know. I know enough to where I'm not picking them to win my bracket.
Picking them to get to the Sweet 16. That's a
Yes,
topic for a different day.
Probably Sweet 16. That's about as far as they're gonna go.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Second game that I'm gonna pick is the Memphis Florida Atlantic game.
Okay.
That's on Saturday. And the reason I'm picking it is because both teams have hopes of being an at-large team. They're both very close. I think currently you got Florida Atlantic as the last 4 byes category, which is the final 8 in. And you got Memphis as the next 4 out, which is the final 4 out currently. If Memphis can beat Florida Atlantic, that's going to be a good win for them. And I think both teams are kind of just like searching for what the rest of the year is going to look like for them. So it's a big game for both teams.
All right, my second game is Quinnipiac, the number 1 in the MAC, versus St. Peter's, the number 2, tied for second. This will be for first place.
Okay.
In the MAC, we'll see what happens. St. Peter's, obviously, we know what run they went on.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac's always a fun team to bet on that Saturday at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Central Standard Time.
I'm going to go with... Can I just say the Missouri Valley Conference Finals on Sunday?
I guess we don't know who it's going to be, though.
I think it's going to be a good matchup, though.
Do you think if those two teams that we didn't mention are in it, do you think it will be a good matchup?
What do you mean?
Like, do you think if somehow some random team upsets, like if a 6 seed gets in there, somehow? I'm talking, who is it?
The 6 seed
like
is
somehow
Southern
like
Illinois.
I'm saying,
you know who they got? Xavier Johnson, assist fiend. I'm going the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game, 1 p.m. on Sunday. It's the first. I think it'll be the first champion of a conference that can potentially get something going in the national tournament, win a game, and be competitive in the second round.
Okay. My next game is UC Davis at home against UC San Diego for second place in the Big West. UC Irvine's at the top, but these two teams are battling for the second seed. They also have a big week. They play Long Beach State, so UC Davis, UC San Diego. See what happens.
Okay. My last one is Utah State and New Mexico. It's on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. New Mexico is, let's see here. They are currently one of the last 4 teams in. Utah State's number 22 in the country. So if New Mexico can beat Utah State, then that's going to be a great win for their resume. That's going to bump them in a little bit farther into the field. If Utah State wins, I think that's what they're supposed to do. It'll be a good win for them, but they're already at the what line are they on? They're already at the 6th line. Utah State.
You know who they play, according to that.
Indiana State. But the Utah State, what are they? Aggies. That's what they are. They're already in 6th seed, so if I'm mainly looking at it for New Mexico. If they can win that one, that's going to be great for them.
So what? They might have 4 teams in. San Diego's probably in. If New Mexico can win.
Mountain West, they have 6.
Jesus.
Because all of those teams just keep That's literally why the Big 12 is potentially going to get so many teams in, is because all of these teams that they just keep playing each other, and it's like, oh, Houston will beat Baylor, and then you got Texas Tech will beat Iowa State will beat Kansas will beat Oklahoma will beat Texas. Like, they just keep playing these teams that are good enough where it's considered a quad 1 or whatever win, but they're not that good where it's like, oh, this game is an impossible one to win. So I feel like that's what's happening in the Mountain West this year too, where these teams are good and they just keep playing each other. Like, literally every single night you could look at their conference schedule and it's like, oh, well, number 1's playing number 5. They both have 5 losses in the conference, but they're both right up there, and they only have 7 losses total.
Yeah.
So,
my last game, I'm going UConn at Marquette. We'll see what Marquette can do without their point guard, if they have any hope. This is kind of going to show.
I don't think they got any hope.
We'll see. It's at home. They got smoked last time they played UConn. I think Marquette's a fine team, but I don't know. UConn's potentially up there for probably going to be a lot of people's favorite to win.
Definitely.
The tournament. So we'll see how much they can battle. And
you think they can go back to back?
UConn?
Yeah.
I would take the field, in my opinion. So no. I think some other team's going to win it.
Put a number 1 to 100 on percentage that you think that they can go back to back.
Percentage?
So if you say 50%, they have a 50% chance of winning the championship.
I'm going to say 33.
Really?
So I think they have a third of a chance to win it, yes. I think they're a great team. I think they are, and it all depends really. I mean, they have the ability and they have the big men and stuff, but Creighton showed that anyone can really beat them. And they kind of stepped up like that. So I think they still have there's still a chance, obviously, but I think I would give them 33%. Going back-to-back's not easy.
Not easy at all.
Some would say it's very difficult.
Okay, last question here.
Okay.
You got UConn, Purdue, Houston, and Arizona. Those are the projected one seeds
okay.
currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put a percentage on that one of those teams wins the championship.
Out of all 4 of those?
You get all 4 of those.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yep.
What's your number 1 to 100 that one of those 4 teams will win the championship?
I'm going to go with 63%. The only reason I say that is I just think number 1 sometimes just can't do it. Mm-hmm. And I've said this before about Purdue. I think Purdue is very good. But I also think sometimes they obviously have more experience. They're better players than last year. Mm-hmm. But I just don't know. I think if they have an off shooting day from the outside and you somehow only have Zach Edey score 25, 30 points, you have a decent chance to win. Mm-hmm. And especially, like you said, if you get hot, and these teams kind of play different styles, so I would give it a 63%?
I said 63, yeah.
So
okay.
I'm still taking the field. I don't think a number 1 seed will win it this year.
All right, there you have it. Well, come back next week. We're getting into the big dog conference tournaments.
Yes, sir.
One more week till the March Madness tournament. We're almost there.
Yep.
See you.
Bye.